I chose Wuthering Heights for my final essay due to the interesting characters and bold themes chosen for a Victorian novel. Emily Bront presents a rebellious story featuring unconventional characters such as a rebellious woman and her non-white love interest. Her story addresses many themes that make her story relevant to modern problems, such as racism and sexism, which I'll be discussing in this essay. I will go over the stages of the relationship between Catherine and Heathcliff and how their individual experiences affected how they acted and their desires. Catherine's experiences as a Victorian woman and Heathcliff's experiences as an abused outsider both change the way that they act towards each other and towards others throughout the story. After that, I will discuss the themes of matrilineal inheritance between Nellie and Catherine I, Nellie and Catherine II, and the connection between Catherine I and Catherine II. After that, I will talk about the symbolism of the land in which the story is set, Wuthering Heights. Cathy and Heathcliff complete each other. They find escape from their miserable lives in the time they spend together on the moors. However, Catherine is not ready to let go of her social status and marries Edgar Linton instead, so she may stay close to Heathcliff while retaining her status. This breaks his heart, and he marries Isabella Linton instead as a form of revenge. Heathcliff the outsider is a vengeful man. He was abused by Hindley, Catherine's brother growing up, and eventually inherited Hindley's land, son, and abusive nature. The community's fear of him as an outsider made it difficult for anyone to go against him. Even when he married Isabella, he was a terrible husband and used her to gain Thrushcross Grange. Cathy seems incapable of seeing how her actions affect those around her. When she famously says, "It would degrade me to marry Heathcliff," she does not consider how that statement would make him feel, and goes on to marry Linton, despite who she will hurt, and that it'll hurt her in the future. Nellie, one of the narrators of the book, acts as a mother figure to both generations of Catherine, and lets her bias be known throughout the story. Nellie and Catherine I share a more innocent mother-daughter connection. She chastises her and acts as a confidant, and is even protective of her when Heathcliff becomes a little aggressive. Nellie and Catherine II have a slightly more somber relationship. Nellie often reminds Catherine II to mind her mother, and to respect her memory. In a way, Catherine II inherited Nellie from her late mother. Despite having never met her mother, Catherine II seems to inherit her mother's wild side, and like her mother, also found strength in Nellie's companionship and freedom in the moors. The two generations mirror themselves. However, the second one ends on a happier note. Each location has a different association for each of the Catherines. For Catherine I, Wuthering Heights represents her desire to be free. The moors represents safety and love for her. But Thrushcross Grange is repressive, and it makes her sick, and that's eventually where she dies. And just like her mother, Wuthering Heights is also a prison to Catherine II. The moors, however, is something dangerous, it's something exciting to her. But Thrushcross Grange is her home, but it's taken from her when she marries Heathcliff's son. Wuthering Heights' feminist themes are obvious and easily picked out. Emily Bront's story is a great source to debate when discussing modern problems including racism and sexism.